Hello and welcome everyone to this Hustle Castle Hero Guide. I don't think I've spoken enough about how effective the hero can be to your squad, so this video will be covering the best things you should look to upgrade and max out to get the best team possible. If you have any videos you want to see, then make sure you leave your comment down below and get subscribed for a chance of your comment getting made into a video, as I get back to all the comments posted and I'm always wanting to know what you guys want to see. Now onto the hero. We're going to first look at the possible upgrades you can do and then potential setups for certain situations. My constellations certainly are maxed out, but I've put most of my time in my tank tree because I prefer having really strong tanks over anything else. If you want better mages or archers, and you want to know what I'd recommend upgrading first, then I'll leave some timestamps for you here, but this video will still benefit you to know what you need to get for your tanks, mages and archers for the future, even if you're not focused on them now. Some of these I do say in my other videos which are more specific to what's going on, like gem base, dungeon bosses or arenas, but this will cover all the good ones to go for a good overall squad. And just to be clear, this is just my opinion of what has worked for me over my time of playing this game, so just take with that how you want. So we're going to look at 3 stages of the tree, what constellations are good to go for, what relics are good to upgrade when you get the chance, and what to avoid until you've maxed out the rest. We'll also look into what are good relic combinations later and things you should know before upgrading them. This is important for new players or if you've just got your hero. To upgrade any constellations, you need to gather ether from doing dungeon runs with either a friend or a random player that the game will find for you, and complete as many waypoints as possible. I've got some great dungeon and boss guides for you in the description to check out after this video if you really want to boost your actual dungeon runs and get the best chances of getting the most ether and completing those dungeons. So starting off with the tanks, I think the top 4 things to aim for would be robust health, regeneration, vampirism and sharpened blades. This will help keep your tanks alive with the extra health and regen every 5 seconds, but the lifesteal and extra damage that they can push out will also be very beneficial for staying alive and killing the enemy faster. Again, the top 4 ones that I pick for each category will be helpful for across all game modes on Hustle Castle, not just anything specific, so this is going to be great for you to aim for the future. Other options that will also be good would be Master of Defense, Anti-Magic Plates, Counterattack and Berserk. This will enable your tanks to be, with the top 4 options as well, to be super tanky and be able to survive longer fights and make it hard for the enemy to get through your front line. This will also allow your tanks to deal even more damage as they get lower in health, but also increasing the amount of lifesteal they gain as well because of the more damage. Good relics to upgrade if you got the chance would be the Champion's Belt, Armoured Hamster and the Horned Helmet. This could be great if you want to focus your tanks more than other fighters, just like I have, and really keep them alive for much longer. The Anchor is a great choice over the Horned Helmet, but only in the much later levels, and at the beginning, and even if you've had your hero for a few months, the Horned Helmet will serve you much better. The things to avoid upgrading would be Porcupine and Last Chance. From everything here, these would provide you the least benefit to your team, in my experience, so only upgrade these once you've upgraded the rest of your actual constellations you want. On the mages, the top 4 things to upgrade would be Sage, Archmage, Spell Reflection and Astral Exercise. With these you'll have a lot more spell power of your chosen weapons and be able to copy some of the enemy spells, as well as your mages being able to stay in the fight even longer, even if they get assassinated at the beginning by an assassin or spell. Good relics to go for the mage tree would be Sorcerer's Hat, Magic Signet Ring and Clock of Hard Times. Now straight away you could be wondering, why did I say Clock of Hard Times when I've only got 1 level in it? And that's because, like I've mentioned before, I've focused a lot of my time towards my tanks more than anything, but I am slowly moving into mage sets and this will be one of the main ones I will use in the future. If you have Clock of Hard Times, Double Spell, Spell Reflection and Absolute Power, then you could be looking at some great combinations of spells throughout any fight and have some great mages in your team that could easily overpower the enemy mages. The things to avoid upgrading till much later would be Demolitionist and Mask of the Quiet. Both of these I'm sure can be strong in their later levels past level 8, but you could easily be wasting your time and resources trying to make this work for your team when there are many better options to go for at much lower levels. Just before moving on to archers, I wanted to point out for anyone new to the channel that me and my girlfriend are playing this great game together called It Takes Two, which I'll leave a link somewhere up here, and it's great fun, especially on episode 2 which we're on now, to this day obviously when this video gets released. So why not come over and check it out and support us over there, it'd be great to see you over there. Right, so moving on to finally archers, the best things you could be looking to upgrade would be Vampiric Arrows, Double Shot, Bullseye and Deadly Accuracy. These as a combination provide a lot of healing through Vampiric Arrows, and the other 3 work really well for that extra damage that you could be looking for. Good relics to aim for your archers would be Ace Up the Sleeve, Book of Wind and Robin's Hood. This allows tanks to be much easier to kill with each level and more damage for each person killed for every fighter. But when you use the Book of Winds, even on the lower levels, you'll really notice the difference of surviving for longer. If you struggle against archers or mages, this one is always a great one to have, to make even better squads against you to fight you even longer, if that plays to your strengths obviously. Things to avoid upgrading would be Trickster and Hustle. The reason to avoid these two is because the increase of dodge is almost unnoticeable to me, especially when you're at lower throne rooms. When your archer's being attacked, again at lower throne room, generally you're about to lose the fight, not because they've got an assassin on their team, so this doesn't really help you enough to win consistently. As with Hustle, you might as well upgrade Head of Terror on the main tree instead, as I find it, especially in the later levels, the bonus certainly outweighs the use for the ranged relic. That brings us on to the last bit of this video, which is about relic combinations and which ones are great to use as a combo. I'll run through the best setups in my opinion for anyone who has a particular category they strive in, and then one at the end of my personal choice as a well balanced team. Just as a quick one for new players to the game or anyone who's just got their heroes, you can only have one main relic and then 4 less powerful ones. And to know which ones are your main relics, you can either see just below the constellation buttons, which can be a little bit tricky, or if you click on the actual constellation button, the main ones will always be at the beginning of each tier, leading from left to right. So for tankier squads, I think having this setup would complement them a lot. You can use the flag depending on what you're actually doing. This is just here as a representation to show you can use a flag. The Mithril Shackles and Armoured Hamster work really well together with Berserk, with the belt being more health, which also helps out the Horned Helmet to be more effective. For a stronger mage team, this could also help your team out. Again, any flag depends on what you're doing at that particular point in time. Also, as mentioned before, the Clock of Hard Times will be a great relic to use if you upgrade the previous constellations for continuous spells, with the Sorcerer's Hat and the Magic Signet Ring for extra health and protection, while the Book of Wind will be providing you a lot more time to get your spells away and defeat your enemies. For people with stronger archer squads, this could be very useful. Ace Up the Sleeve, Robin Hood and Enchanted Quiver can really boost your archer's damage to the next level, and again the Book of Wind will buy you enough time for your archers to really pack a punch and build up that damage as they get more team kills. For this last setup, this will be for people who want a good overall squad that don't focus on anything in particular. You'll be providing your tanks with the Armoured Hamster and Champion's Belt for their extra protection and health, while still providing health and damage for your mages with the Sorcerer's Hat, and extra damage for your whole team with Ace Up the Sleeve. Again, the Book of Wind, especially on later levels, will really provide a boost of protection that your team will desperately need, so I think this makes the perfect balanced hero, but leave your comments down below of what team setup you would have used, and I'd love to know what you guys think. So that was a lot of information to go through, and if you've made it this far, you are truly awesome and I really appreciate anyone that gets this far. Please give this video a big like to show me that you enjoyed the video or at least found it informative, and get subscribed for future Hustle Castle videos to come. Thank you again for watching this Hustle Castle Hero Guide, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.